Welcome to this easy restorative practice. I'm really excited to share today's sequence with you because we're going to be using a bolster, which I just recently got in the mail and have just been loving. This is a support in yin. And if you don't have a bolster, no big deal. The best part is that there are lots of easy replacements. So if you have a body pillow or just a firm, large pillow, a couch cushion would be perfect. Any of these will work well. We're also going to use, if I can remember at the end of practice, an eye pillow, which I really love as a tool as well. So if you don't have an eye pillow, anything like a small towel or a washcloth achieves that same purpose of just closing down the eyes, letting them relax and soften and stop focusing so hard on seeing, which is what our eyes do best, but can be a bit of a strain sometimes. So welcome in, light your candles, close down your door, your shades, whatever makes you feel comfortable and cozy in your home space. It's the best part about these online practices is that we're just coming from our own homes, and what a special thing to share. Today's yin practice is intended for anyone who has felt drained recently, maybe a little bit weary of the world and of giving. Often we can get really exhausted by all that we offer the world, and that's very normal. The practice is always just coming back to fill up your own cup. Once you're ready, we'll come into our first pose. So I'll move my cushion aside, put this back here. And it will be supported fish, just like we started last time, this time on a bolster. So scoot to the middle of your mat and then just snuggle your bolster or your pillow right up against your sits bones. And then come down onto it. And stack your palms underneath the space of your sacrum. You might need to wiggle side to side to achieve that. And ideally you have found or are still in the process of finding that perfect place where your heart opens effortlessly and you begin to arrive. Options with the legs, just like last time. You can place the soles of your feet to touch, butterfly, and cross at the legs, nice and easy, or extend them long. Totally up to you, your body, your practice. I'm just here as a humble guide, experiencing it all with you. Begin to deepen your breath, check in with your breath. Take stock of your energy at this moment. Where does life find you? As you breathe, notice two things that you feel right now in this moment. Physical, emotional, energetic, anything. I personally feel the heat of the day. It's really warm here. And on an emotional level, I feel excited and energized. tell yourself what you feel. Maybe you speak out loud, maybe you speak internally. And see if, however you choose to express yourself, it can be with kindness, curiosity. Stay breathing. Stay listening. And bit by bit, become attuned to your own energy. One of the most lovely things about an at-home practice is while you're not in community, you're communing with yourself. And you don't have to worry about the energy of the person next to you, the smell of the person next to you, the way they're breathing. None of that is at all relevant. And you can narrow and hone in even closer on your body, your experience, what you feel, what you need. And that is a truly valuable thing. Soften your eyelids. Soften your heart. It can release, relax. And maybe that's an experience of finally being able to relax. A kind of coming home. Replenishing. So that when you give, you're giving from deep stores. A full cup. And in that way, giving isn't even an effort. It's not even a question or a dredging up. It's simply overflow. And it's normal to get depleted. It's not in our culture's practice to fill our own cups first, to even know how to do that. Because that takes slowing down, being intuitive, and prioritizing rest over productivity. Release the muscles in your legs. Release the muscles and the skin of your forehead. Stay here. Surrender to gravity. more breaths. Remove your hands gently from behind your sacrum and stretch your arms. Long good morning stretch. You can extend your legs so you just feel a long stretch on the bolster and breathe in. Exhale, roll onto your side. Come off the bolster. And just take a moment in a fetal pose. Ear resting on your bicep. And sense if there's already some energetic changes beginning in your body. Maybe it's physical. Embrace that shift. Lean into it. And then press yourself up. Nice and easy. Great job. Stay with me. Maybe you take a sip of water. And then take your bolster, and I really like it actually at its second height. You can experiment with both options. And just place it on your legs out long. We're coming into a forward fold. So press your chest lightly into your bolster and lift your arms up. Exhale, reach to grab the end of your bolster. And just negotiate and drop your head down. Maybe your forehead reaches. Release tension in your toes. There's no need to flex your feet here. And just feel the support of your bolster or your pillow here. As you breathe, big belly breaths into your back body. And soften. And notice if you find yourself growing impatient. Know that that's normal. This practice is difficult, even in its ease, its stillness. And just return your mind gently to the breath. Inhale through your nose. Audible exhale, sigh it out. You can make noise, especially in your own home. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Feels good to let it go. One more inhale through your nose. Exhale, release everything. Stay with this breath. Three more. On your next inhale, lift your way up. Take a straight spine. Just neutralize. And then take your bolster to the side for just a moment. We'll come into deer pose. So, right leg parallel to the top of your mat, left leg parallel to the side of your mat. Again, if you're on a traditional shaped mat. And all that really matters is an open angle through either leg, and find comfort. And we'll play around with the bolster in this pose as well. So you can experiment whether horizontally or vertically feels most comfortable. I'm going to try vertical to start. But as I always say, it's all about creativity with these props and listening to your body, what it asks for. I love props for that reason. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold over your bolster. And drop your forehead down. You can kind of hug your bolster. And then breathe into the outer right hip. Soften into this support. Trust it. Trust yourself. And with that trust comes the knowledge that you can always use your intuition to figure out what it is you need in any moment. And then give it to yourself. That's such a beautiful thing. Breathe. Return. Surrender. If your mind has wandered, return it ever so gently to this precious time, this very moment. It will only happen once. What is it you'd like to feel and remember about this experience of slowing down? Be with that and let your to-do list temporarily go, be put on hold. Five more breaths. Take your palms to the earth before you and use that connection to inhale your way up. Straight spine. Blink open your eyes. Take your bolster to the other side. Palms come behind you and just switch out your legs, almost like a windshield wiper, this gentle movement. So your left leg comes out in front, right leg behind. Bolster snuggled up towards your belly. Maybe try it horizontal, maybe try it vertical this way. Give yourself more support for your head. And then inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold over your bolster. Give it a hug. Give it some love. And you might try either your cheek to the bolster or your forehead. Experiment. And then drop right in. Stay with sensation. Stay with breath. This cleansing force that with rhythmic use has the capacity to fill our cup completely. Audible open mouth exhales are especially nice for yin. They tell your body it's safe to relax. Finally safe. Finally home. The external world falls away bit by bit. And still silence comes to take its place. The richness of your time with yourself. And the best part is that just feeds our ability to show up externally in the world even more fully. It's not about isolation, but a brief reprieve. And that balance is so essential to wellness and wholeness. Five more breaths. Make these matter. Press your palms into the mat. Inhale, lift up. Place your bolster out in front of you. Maybe another sip of water. I like to sprinkle this into my practice. It's yin, it's water. It's good to stay hydrated. As we replenish ourselves energetically and spiritually, often water in a physical sense is a really great way to do so. We're often quite dehydrated without even knowing it. So join me. And next we'll take a supported child's pose with the bolster. Like everything, this can be an experiment. And I would try the bolster first out vertically on its first height. Knees wide, maybe wider than you normally go. And then inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold down so your entire front body is supported by the bolster. And either take your forehead to its expanse or left ear and cheek to the mat or to the bolster, whatever support you're using. And you might give it a little hug the way I am here, hands on either elbow. And release your front body into this connection, this support. Soft yet sturdy. And supple yet strong. I feel there's a lot that we could learn from this support. Soften your hands. Soften your heart. Breathe. If you're on your left ear, inhale, lift your head, face it forward. And then exhale, right ear and cheek to the bolster. Inhale, bring your head back to center. Press your palms into the mat, exhale. And then we'll be coming into a supported crocodile. So that just looks like extending your legs long and negotiating on your bolster to find a place where you feel comfortable just lying on it. And maybe this feels awkward or unusual. See if you can embrace that sensation. Just experiment. But if you are extremely uncomfortable for whatever reason, you can just come off the bolster and take a regular crocodile. Here I have the bolster right about the end of it at my heart, so my head can come down and stack my elbows as a resting place for my head. You might find something different or mimic me. And then inhale, inch your right knee up so you come into crocodile with frog legs on the right. And you might have to move on your bolster if this took you a little off balance. And you'll find that perfect spot with a little bit of time. And then settle in. Gentle thigh opener. Breathe your breath into your back body. Exhale, soften into gravity. Inhale lifts you up just an inch or so. Exhale loosens you back down into the earth. Inhale. Exhale. You can imagine every exhale just like a soothing weighted blanket. It sinks you a little bit deeper every time towards the earth, towards support. And towards yourself. Three more breaths. And then just take your right leg long, shift on your bolster and lift your left knee up just so it comes out to the side, nice and easy. And if you are on one ear, switch to the other side or nestle your forehead in the crook of your elbow. And settle back in to breath, to sensation. You're doing great. If you're feeling impatience or boredom, validate your mind No, that makes sense. And see it just for what it is, a reaction. And one you have the power to guide. And maybe when you feel boredom, with awareness, you choose curiosity instead. Three more breaths. Soften into every exhale. Walk your hands out to either side and just roll onto your back. We'll keep today's practice relatively short. So we'll move into Shavasana, and you might try two options. The bolster underneath your head, maybe that feels supportive and delicious. Or a second option, you could use it underneath your knees. And that feels really nice for me. I'll grab my cushion as my pillow. And if you did, at the beginning of practice, grab your washcloth or eye pillow, grab that as well. And then just place it over your eyes gently and with love. If anything doesn't feel quite right, just move it out of the way. Listen closely to your body's knowing. It always will tell you the truth. Never lies. Sometimes it's just hard to listen. And that's why we slow down. Place your left hand over the space of your heart and your right hand on your belly. And then soften your elbows. Soften your hands. Breathe. And stay deeply rooted in love for yourself. Maybe that's hard. If that's the case for you, just take a small step towards love. It might be deep care, unconditional compassion, or even just a listening ear. When we can provide that for ourselves consistently, that's when we can give to others. And only then. Of course, we can always give, but that's when it feels most symbiotic, most sincere. Love for the self is a lifelong journey, a daily journey. And I believe it's a choice we can make at every moment, every interval and intersection. There is a way to choose love. Choose it for yourself right now. close practice with 3 belly breaths together and audible exhales. So inhale, breathe deep into your belly. Exhale, unwind with a sigh. Inhale as deep to your peak as you can go. Exhale with a sigh. Your body softens. One more belly breath all the way. Audible exhale. Amazing job. Take one more moment to soak in this practice and notice 2 things you feel now at the end. Remove your eye pillow really slowly. Often we don't notice how dark and cool it was until it's removed. So that transition is important. Take it slow. And then roll on to your side. Take fetal pose. Maybe a pillow under your head or just your bicep. Stay here. Or sit up, just depending on what your body is craving. Maybe it's more rest. Maybe it's evening and you're just settling down into sleep. Or maybe like me, it's early afternoon and there's more to do. In which case you can join me in cross-legged. Wherever you are, bring a hand to your heart. Maybe both if that's available. And breathe one last breath into your heart space. Exhale out. I'm so grateful to you for showing up for yourself and doing the often really difficult work of slowing down to fill up your cup. This will allow you, no doubt, to give so much more. And I encourage you to return to this practice or others like it anytime you feel a little bit depleted, a little bit drained. This is worthy work, and I honor you. Namaste.